You're watching the primetime newscast in the English language on Canal, the International. Thanks for joining us. My name is Gladys Ambodibang. Stay tuned for the headlines. Cameroon joins the international community today to observe World Albinism Awareness Day, a day that represents the celebration of the human rights of people with albinism and raise awareness for their health condition. As part of activities to mark the day in Douala, Cameroon's economic capital, an artist organized an awareness campaign to underscore the importance of considering albinos as other human beings. And Cameroon joins the international community tomorrow, June 14, to commemorate World Blood Donors Day, an act medics have described and as aspects of solidarity to save lives. And in education, the written part of the Probatoire General Examination for the French subsystem of education has kicked off nationwide today. Thousands of candidates are braving the examination, which many have described as a major handicap to students who get blocked, mostly at the Probatoire level. Those were our headlines. Stay tuned for developments. Thanks for joining us. You're watching the 6:15 p.m. newscast on Canal International. We begin with education. The written part of the Probatoire General Examination of the French subsystem of education in Cameroon has kicked off nationwide. Thousands of candidates are taking part in the examination, which many have described as a major handicap for students who actually brave the odds to reach at that level. What is the importance of the probatoire examination or certificate for candidates in Cameroon? Morindi has more on that story.
For years now, the debates on the importance and value attached on the probatoire examination still imposed by government remains on the spotlight. This teacher has described the probatoire examination as a major handicap blocking hundreds of candidates each year from attaining the objective, which is grabbing the baccalaureate examinations later on and eventually stepping into a higher institution.
That's what so many people say. That is blocking so many people, so many students from going ahead to write the baccalaureate exams. It is all left to the government to decide whether it should be scrapped or not. But I know sometimes they have said that they are going to scrap it, but up to now it is still ongoing.
According to the Minister of Secondary Education, government is still deliberating whether or not it should be scrapped off.
I think we're still planning on that. That will come. We shall do it. If it is necessary, we shall do it. We're still discussing on that.
The Minister of Secondary Education, Nalova Lyonga, is on an inspection tour into some centers in the littoral region as thousands of candidates have started writing the probatoire examination this June 13, 2022. Several absences were recorded as invigilators multiplied strategies for each free examination.
And it's very nice to know that the GCE board as well as the baccalaureate are also working here. You know, we have the liaison officer of the GCE, so they are all here working together. It's nice to know that both Anglophone and Francophone boards are working together.
The inspection tour to centers enables the Minister of Secondary Education to exchange with invigilators, chief of centers and others on the problems identified so far and how it should be eventually handled as the examination unfolds.
We now talk health. Cameroon joins the international community today to observe the International Albinism Awareness Day. It is a day that represents the celebration of the human rights of the people with albinism and raise awareness for their health condition. As part of activities to mark the day in Cameroon's economic city, Douala, an artist and producer, organized an awareness campaign to actually underscore the importance of albinos, considered as normal human beings. You have the details with Sherifa Saleh.
For us, it seems as if some people regard us as separate human beings, but at least you people have a kind-hearted to give us this offer. In short, I'm very, very happy because at least you people can remember that we are also human beings like any other person.
In Cameroon, likewise other African countries, people living with albinism are given stereotype names, subjected to stigma because there are superstitious beliefs about them not being humans. In honor of International Albinism Awareness Day, June 13, this Cameroonian actress and producer launched this activity where she shows love for the people with albinism.
That's why we made the movie Chariots of the God, who is led by an albino, and this is one of our aim to make sure that in all movie production in Cameroon, at least we can have an albino. We have to put a data of albino in Cameroon. So we aim to do this database where we have all the numbers per region.
Lucy Member, in collaboration with other Good Samaritans, aim at making the people with albinism live a normal life. As their theme, this day was centered around "I love your melanin."
After the creation of a development organization covering the entire Njikwa subdivision, traditional rulers have thrown their weight behind the new baby. It was over the weekend in Bamenda in the northwest region of Cameroon. This now completes the parameters for the creation of an umbrella grouping for just like in Njikuda. You have more in the following story.
With the very bad state of roads, to and within Njikwa subdivision, the people of the 9 villages recently created a development organization to face some of their challenges. Over the weekend, their funds met in Bamenda to traditionally bless the Njikwa Cultural and Development Association, calling on all their people to embrace peace as a way forward.
Put this matter to an end. Yes. All of us, nobody know they would like what they want. All we want one more is to develop. But we don't get any way for carry on with our development.
The only thing I say, no, we'll be more united. We maintain the same peace where the rain for Njikwa and within us, and then make some contribution. Say, men Njikwa can make this. Any man want bring hostility, any man want bring disorder. Because all the powers, all the traditions, therefore, hands may get that bad hand. So,
championing the development process, the municipal council is interested in harnessing all living forces at the time when government has made available funds for the rehabilitation of the poor road infrastructure.
This association sponsored the studies for the rehabilitation of the Njikwa Road and, if possible, tarring. And luckily, the government listened to their cry and gave them a project for this 2022 for 1.5 billion for the grading of the Njikwa Road. And I think this is coming at the right time to solve the problems of our people who have been having it very difficult to circulate between Njikwa and Bamenda.
By the pouring of libation, funds and representatives of 8 of the 9 villages in attendance unanimously agreed to bar the way to enemies of development.
The new director of the French Development Agency is currently in Cameroon to take stock of the tax awaiting her. Virginie Dacko, together with the outgoing director, this Monday, June 13, 2022, were receiving audience by the Minister of the Economy, Planning and Regional Development, a visit which she says is mainly to gather the necessary information on the tax awaiting her in the days ahead. More on that story with Hyson Chia from Yaoundé.
A brief moment of exchange between the new director of the French Development Agency, Virginie Dacko, and Cameroon Minister of Economy, Planning and Regional Development, Alamin Ousmane May, as she prepares grounds to begin work.
I can't say what is going to change right now. As I said, I will listen first. I will do my best to understand the environment.
At her arrival in Cameroon, the outgoing director outlines major developmental projects in regions across the country with enormous impact on the population.
We have big results that everybody can see in main cities like Bertois, like Bamenda, like Gaoundé, Garoua, Maroua. So I think it's very important on a day-to-day basis. But it's also...
We shall be back with that news story in our subsequent newscast. This time around, we stay in the nation's capital, Yaoundé, to talk about the bad state of roads in the nation's capital, that is, those linking the various neighborhoods. The roads, the movements are disturbing the pedestrians as well as vehicles circulating in the town of Yaoundé. We have Omo Kosome, who visited some of the roads in the various neighborhoods in the nation's capital and put together the following report.
Cars stuck in deep potholes for some minutes, faced with difficulties to cross, causing road traffic. Water all over the area. Inhabitants decry the bad situation of this road at Elegedua neighborhood in Yaoundé, as they say it causes frequent road accidents.
I say, Master, the plow don't pass way because the road, anytime accident they pass here and the water they worry we anytime. That situation don't pass way.
Same image here at Emombo neighborhood, where this small stretch of road people say has become catastrophic.
The situation of the Emombo road is a very, very bad situation. It's since the rainy season, people can't go out easily. They can't go back home easily because there's too much mud. And in the dry season, the same thing. Dust, people are suffering of dust. So the situation of Emombo Road is a very big situation in this city. It's a very big situation in this city.
The deplorable situation has greatly affected economic operators around the area.
People doesn't pass. Even us that we are doing business here, we feel we don't have customers because everybody have run this environment. Because only to cross the road, to move from one place to another is very difficult. So when it is raining, everything is down, just everything. Even business doesn't go, people doesn't go out to go to their various job sites. It's very, very difficult with us here.
Temporary measures by the Yaoundé 4 Council to fill the potholes with soil. Many lament it is not the needed solution in the heart of this raining season.
The combination of puffballs, beans, and pap, commonly known in some parts of Cameroon as Sachombo, no longer satisfied the local consumer. The prices or the vendors have drastically reduced the sizes of the puffballs, while the quantities of pap and beans have drastically reduced. Both the consumers and the vendors are actually lamenting. And we have Beatrice Ngamo, who visited some of these vendors in the streets of the nation's capital and put together the following reports.
The common, almost standard amount tagged before was puff 100 francs, beans 50 francs and pap 50 francs for a rich and fulfilled morning like this cold Monday morning. Enough to take anyone to say 1 p.m. or above before another meal. And this has been a very reliable source of livelihood over the years in Cameroon. Filling her plate with the bowls of goodness, This custom accounts to be sure it should be enough for the number of persons.
Avant les beignets, si on achète ça à 25, mais c'était un peu plus gros. Maintenant, là, c'est petit. Avant, c'était 50, maintenant, c'est 75. On n'a pas l'argent.
Situation disturbing to the common man, seeing their favorite street meal taking a different dimension.
On achète comme on se débrouille comme ça, on achète.
Availability is only concern, especially as he is out to enjoy the combination.
Je n'ai pas de gros problème avec ça. Je veux juste manger, donc c'est tout ce qui compte.
The sellers chant same inflation chorus. Flour very expensive, sugar price up. Same too, the oil for frying.
Tout petit parce que la farine est chère, c'est 27 000 le sac et on ne trouve même pas. L'huile vrac est à 2200, 1,5 litre et le maillot est à 1600. Le paquet de sucre à 800 francs. Donc on ne s'en sort plus dans le pays.
Clients qui viennent que les payer, si c'est 25 mois, ils répondent comment? Le sucre maintenant 34 000, la farine à 26 000, on ne s'en sort pas.
La farine est trop chère. On essaie de diminuer le beignet pour qu'on ait aussi quelque chose.
Many resort to mergers to have a good morning feel, while the sellers add to kind of keep going.
Beaucoup de clients se plaignent. Quand tu sais petit, on dit que c'est petit. Et si tu sais beaucoup, c'est toi qui paies.
What has pushed for the drop in the quantity? They prepare also.
Avant, je faisais 8 kilos, maintenant je fais 4 kilos et je ne m'en sors même pas pour que ça finisse même.
Avant, je vendais jusqu'à 6 kilos. Mais maintenant, je suis baissé à 3 kilos.
The scramble for puff-puff, beans and pap, not like before. The meal that is widely consumed across the country is gradually losing its followers as the rich and fulfilling satisfaction is dying. Bet for the diehards.
It is with that feature story that we wrap up this edition of the Primetime Newscast in the English language on Canal International. You have the French version of the Primetime Newscast at 7:50 with Emekate Mokuri. Up next is The Brief with Mark Chwamo. I will be yours again same time tomorrow, God's willing. Bye-bye.